Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. Next week is Grand Slam. Ooh, that show looks great. This show was meh. We're talking about Dynamite, September 13th, 2023. There were some good things. Taz, Excalibur, Tony on commentary. We're in Cincinnati, Ohio. We started off with the AEW International Championship. John Moxley versus Big Bill with Ricky Starks outside, rocking a pearl necklace that gets broken at the end. Bryan Danielson comes out, a little bit of fight at Stark, and they fight, and Claudio comes out, but John Moxley for the win. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? I didn't imagine this would happen in a John Moxley match. He started bleeding, folks. Oh my God, he started bleeding. It's like very rare and very doesn't always happen. The man bleeds all the fucking time. Oh man, as soon as I saw the blood, I was like, yep, there we go. It's like, take a drink every time John Moxley bleeds. You'd probably be plastered for the whole month. Yeah, but this match was okay. John Moxley was going to retain. I don't really care for this Big Bill, Ricky Starks thing. I think, but what's funny is, like, you got Bryan Danielson building himself to Wrestle Dream against Zack Saber Jr. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Ricky Starks and Bryan Danielson. Like, if you were going to do that, you should have had them face each other at Wrestle Dream one more time after an amazing strap match. But no, just to get us there, I don't know if it's scheduling issues or whatever, so Bryan and Zach can have some good promos against each other. But and then, you're building this feud between Big Bill, Ricky Starks, and the Blackpool Combat Club, because we're going to get Bryan Danielson and Claudio versus Big Bill and Ricky Starks. So, yeah, I'm like I said, this show was very meh just because there was a lot of things going on. I was just like, okay, well, we're building the Grand Slam, but pro wrestling, folks, pro wrestling. I want Bryan Danielson and Zach to, chop it up on the mic against each other. We got Wrestle Dreams only a few weeks away. Renee's with Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. Neck Strong, the Kingdom's just there in the background just to give him something. Adam interrupts and he's like, hey, man, you shouldn't go against Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's gonna, your neck and this and that. And he goes, oh, no, you care about my neck, man. This whole, like, the end of the show with this storyline was just, the best part was Joe. I'll get there. But Tony's with Don Callis. Don Callis is with Takeshita. This was fucking stupid. The painting, calling Takeshita the alpha, the true alpha after beating Kenny Omega twice. It reveals that the painting is of Kota Ibushi being about to be stabbed. Don Callis talking about murdering a man. Ibushi and everything like that, stabbing him, burning him, all this stuff. I don't know. The paintings are stupid. They are really, really stupid. This whole segment, I was like, oh, come on. Like, I get it. Where is Kenny? Like, that, is he going to just show up at, is this a match that's going to happen at Wrestle Dream? Kota Ibushi versus Takeshita? So, Blackpool Combat Club, backstage interview, they basically threw the challenge out there with Big Bill and Claudio, Big Bill and Ricky Starks for Collision. And then Rey Fenix interrupts because he's going to face John Moxley next week for that AEW International Championship. A lot of going on, but my favorite part of this was Eddie and Claudio face to face, and Eddie just looks at him, and Claudio's looking at him too, and he goes, yeah, next week, ha 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 ha, he just walks off, and I was like, I like that a lot. Renee's with Hook. Before Hook can say anything, Orange just interrupts, and he's just like, look at you, looking there so mad. Why are you so mad? You got a championship. Yeah. He gives him a fist bump, and then Renee's like, how are you, Orange Cassidy? I'm tired. That was it. Here's the Grand Slam Women's 4-way Eliminator match. See who's going to face Saraya next week. Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose versus Toni Storm. This match had potential. And when Toni Storm came out to the Outcast music, I got really confused. I was like, is the Outcast still a thing? I know Ruby's still with Saraya, but is this just to show Toni Storm's crazy? Is she, she's insane that she doesn't know the music she's coming out to? And this weird Britt Baker, Shida, tension throughout the match, why are you hitting me? Why are you hitting me? Because it's a fucking fatal 4-way match. I understand you're the baby faces of this match, but this is a wrestling match. There was just some weird moments where I'm just like, come on. Quit, why are you hitting me? Oh, why are you doing this? Because it's a fucking match. Then at the end, there was tension. So these two just need to have a match and blow this thing off. They've been trying to tell it in the storytelling of all of this feud. Toni Storm for the win. She's going to face Saraya. And then we get Renee with Saraya and Ruby. And Saraya's like, she's crazy, blah, blah. Toni Storm was the champ before, blah, blah. And, that's why she's like, former friend. She lost her friends. This is why I got so confused about when she came out to the Outcast music. I was like, okay, sure. But it will be Toni Storm and Saraya next week for the AEW Women's Championship. I am excited. We'll see what these two can do. Do I think Saraya's going to lose that championship? I don't think so. I don't think so whatsoever. All right, Les Sex Gods. But shout out to Darcy the Mail Girl. She was in the crowd. Ooh, Joe Bob, represent. But we have Les Sex Gods. Is Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Another snoozer of a fucking promo. I don't know, pack, whatever you want to call it, because they showed the stupid video package of these two, and they're going to face each other next week, and this is the biggest match of Sammy Guevara's life, and if he beats Chris Jericho, this is a moment that's cemented. He has to beat him, and this is what makes him a made man, and all I'm thinking of is Action Andretti. And what I was complaining about last week when they're like, oh my God, he beat Chris Jericho once. I'm like, yeah, for fucking what? It did nothing. So when Jericho's going like, you need this win. If you win, blah blah blah, you could be blah blah. You can. Then there's a point where he's like, telling Sammy, he's like, I see you. You're inching away at being the man about this company. I was like, is he though? No offense to Sammy, but is he? And the whole thing about beating Chris Jericho, and he's gonna be a made man, and I was like, apparently it didn't happen for Action Andretti. So, and they're building this match like it's important. Like, if you are a casual fan, you're like, oh, okay, Sammy Guevara versus Chris Jericho. But they're building it like it's a championship match or something like that. And then afterwards, there's a little tension at the end. But, Sammy's like, after I win, we're going to shake hands, and then we're going to be a tag team again, and be the Les Sex Gods. So, yeah. It just fell flat for me. It honestly did. MJF and Adam Cole with Renee from last week. MJF being MJF and cutting some math promo. Big Papa Pump. Oh my God, that crowd started like even though this was just a video package, MJF promo and whatnot, I'm standing right there and MJF calling Roderick Strong stupid and stuff like that. It was so this was the best part of the fucking show when he started doing the math promo, and that crowd, you could hear in the background, they were like, oh, this was some great stuff, man. But I can't wait to see MJF defend that title next week. It's going to be a good one. Hangman Adam Page versus Brian Cage 3. Sorry, kind of stumbled there. Hangman Adam Page for the win. Okay match. Hangman Adam Page for the win. Swerve is out there looking so stern, and Hangman cuts a promo after, and they're going to face each other at Wrestle Dream. Which I'm like, ooh, Swerve and Hangman Adam Page at Wrestle Dream. I like that. And I like Swerve is Swerve, man. I need an action figure of Swerve because I'm really digging just his vibe. And whose house? Swerve's house. Prince Nana. Well, he goes, Swerve's like, yeah, we're going to face each other. But at WrestleDream, but my boy Brian Cage is going to handle you a little bit. And Brian Cage attacks Hangman Adam Page. Prince Nana comes in. Then Prince Nana is doing his dance. And then here comes the Young Bucks super kick Brian Cage. And Prince Nana's dancing. And the Young Bucks are behind him. Like, what is he doing? Then they super kick Prince Nana. I was like, no! But Hangman Adam Page has his backup, and that's the Young Bucks. But at WrestleDream, we'll have Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. That's going to be awesome. Renee with Daniel Garcia. Oh my God. Can I tell you all? I love Daniel Garcia. I love the dance. I try to do the dance, and my fat ass sometimes gets out of breath doing it because I can't do it because it's just so fucking awesome. He gets interrupted by Don, and Don's like, hey, Chris Jericho, blah, blah, because I like what Daniel Garcia said. He goes, everyone keeps on asking me, Renee, about Jericho. What about Daniel Garcia? What about the Arizona Cardinals? I was like, hey, shout out to the Cards, and doing his dance and being, going trending and this and that. And and then Don interrupts, and Don's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And Daniel Garcia just looks at him, then he does the dance in front of him and walks away. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Darby Allin, Nick Wayne versus Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange, or Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. I like the other names better, but Darby Allin, Nick Wayne for the win. And guess who comes out? Surprise! Christian Cage with Luchasaurus. They come out, Christian on commentary. I don't know, folks. I as much as I love Christian Cage, this whole storyline with him being like, I'm the TNT champion, when really Luchasaurus is getting stale. And I think Darby should have won that championship. That's just my opinion. And then for Grand Slam next week, he makes a challenge and says, Darby, if you're man enough, you, and I was like, Nick Wayne, nope, Sting versus Christian Cage and Luchasaurus at Grand Slam if you're man enough. Walks off, and I was like, fucking poor Nick Wayne. I understand, like, the Sting aspect, because Sting's always going to be attached to Darby Allin, but I was like, are we going to do anything with Nick Wayne? Instead of just keep on, like, Christian telling him, like, I was on your mom's Instagram. She needs more bikini pictures. Oh, your dad's dead. I was like, this poor kid, like, he gets some shine, but, I would have loved to seen Darby and Nick tag team against Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. That would be awesome. But no, they brought Sting back into this. And I'm like, okay, sure. Why not? Now, the main event. Grand Slam World Title Eliminator Tournament. The end of it, the finale. And guess what? No fucking surprise. Samoa Joe. And he cuts a great promo afterwards. He cuts a mean promo. He says, oh, Max! And he tells him, he says, I will take everything from you, kid. Everything. And I think the match was shorter than it should have been because it was like 5 minutes there, and then they had to fill the last 5 minutes or whatever with whatever, with yada, yada, yada. They filled it with the yada, yada, yada. They filled it with the Roderick Strong in his neck in the Kingdom. Then Adam Cole comes out, and I'm sitting there the whole time, and like, as Adam Cole's walking towards the ring, Roger goes, oh, my neck. He was like, oh, then they brought the doctors out and everything, stretcher and this and that. I'm like, oh, God. This is fucking dumb. Ending the show this way. Until my boy Joe fixed it, choking out Adam. But I feel we're just wasting the Kingdom here. And Roderick Strong. I feel like we're just wasting him in this whole, like, Roderick, oh, we got it on my neck, and it's just like, a lot of these stories right now is kind of all over the place. So I can't wait till we get the Grand Slam, we get to the bigger picture of things. But this show, but Joe, shut up. You choking out Adam, and then just looking at the camera says, I will take everything from you, MJF. So Samoa Joe versus MJF next week. Yes, please sign me up. And for this Dynamite, I give it a solid 2.5 out of 5. I don't want to be that critical, but man, this was a tough one to get through. You can look at my notes. Fucking madman. And they're fucking cutting grass. Look, you hear that shit? Do you hear that shit? I don't understand. They fucking do this all the time. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and as always, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo, created by Penta X. He's got some new music on the way. I've heard some of it, and it's pretty tasty. Pretty tasty on the ears. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
If you don't believe me, let me get it through your thick, fat skull with some simple math. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance